Welcome back to another episode of Happy Lies, Sad Truth, where we peel back the layers of the narratives fed to us and uncover the raw truths beneath them. I'm your host, Boss, and today we're diving deep into a pressing issue that's shaking the foundations of both the streets and the digital realm. In recent times, we've witnessed a surge of street figures taking to these podcasts and interviews, airing out stories, grievances, all kind of madness, incriminating details. This trend has not only blurred the lines between entertainment and self-incrimination, but has also led to severe legal repercussions. The shit is crazy, y'all. Like you would think that somebody would teach these cats. We can't even blame youngsters though, because you know what I'm saying. It's their era where this camera stuff is, but y'all supposed to teach them. One prominent figure at the center of all is Whack 100. Now, dude, I don't know how old he is, but I know he old enough. If he hang with Suge and Biggie and them, he old enough to know better. Like he made a statement saying he can do what he want to do. You can. That's a fact. But when you decided to be a gang member, man, you took an oath, regardless to if somebody else is doing it or not. Like when them young cats come on your show, you be interviewing them. You should check them. Hey man, you ain't supposed to say that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like real business. Like, and you would think, man, that he would understand because these ain't just casual affiliations. These are commitments, bonds, bond by code, meant to protect the members of our communities, man. When these codes are broken, especially on public platforms, the consequences can be dire. Like the recent indictment of Big U. Everybody know who he is from 60, whatever, you know what I mean? But he has did a lot of good and a lot of, I don't know nothing about no bad. But he accused of leading the criminal enterprise involving crimes ranging from murder to fraud. And Big U case has sent shockwaves through the community, man. Because a lot of people know, man, they been on them podcasts saying shit and all stuff that you're not supposed to say. That's where that saying come from. Ignorance is airborne. And what's more alarming is the ripple effect that it's had on media personalities. Like they done arrested that dude, Adam, from No Jumper. That shit, hey, man. Hey, that shit deadly, man, because you don't know what they was talking about before the camera started rolling. And he hear all that, man. He gonna save himself. You better believe that. Man, this intersection of street culture and digital media raises critical questions, man. Are platforms like No Jumper inadvertently becoming conduits for self-incrimination? When street figures share tales without filters, are they aware of the potential legal traps they're setting for themselves? That shit is crazy. Like you gotta start thinking. Do y'all know? Because that shit is deadly, man. It's evident that the allure of fame and reach of digital platforms have led to many overlooked. To many, man. Look, man, I be so caught up, man. I be mixing my words. But listen, man, this is the thing. The thing, like you would think that somebody would tell these young dudes, man. And then I can't even say young dudes, man, because it's some older. These cats is old. They know when the time when you didn't take pictures. Like how I'll be walking up and people just get to taking pictures. That shit is nerve wracking. Like, damn, you ain't gonna even ask. You will just start taking pictures. But this is the time. Like people try to blame these young dudes. It's not these young dudes are growing up in their era. This is their era. The era of the social media and all that. If cameras and shit was around when we was young, we been doing the same shit. The only difference is them old niggas would have immediately got on us. Because when we was growing up, we used to think that the big homies was mean. That's what I think my generation was the era where Motherfuckers start being defiant towards the older homies. But now I see why they were so strict. It wasn't no telling. You wasn't being no buster. Motherfuckers was held accountable, man. Like it was a meeting every Sunday, man. Yeah, it didn't make no difference what you did last week. Yeah, motherfuckers used to be in there and squabbling. That's why a lot of motherfuckers were scared. Cause it goes down, but you held accountable. It don't make no difference who you are. Now you got motherfuckers like Wax 100 in this little interview I seen today. I say I do whatever I want to. That's the truth. But when you decided to be a gang member, a lot of what you want to, like this shit, like real business, I can't blame him. Like real business, you think about it. You got motherfuckers that's under real paperwork. Not the accusation motherfuckers be making, but real motherfuckers that have told on people that's still in the sets doing their thing. So it's like, I'm sure he feel like, shit, I'm finna get to this paper. Because it's paper and he getting to his paper. But although the streets aren't following behind these rules no more and letting them act and behave how they want to, prison ain't changed. Them cats up there holding you accountable, man. They ain't got nothing to do but politics. And this is a thing that a lot of you young cats need to understand. Let's go. When you get to prison, you be listening to these young home from prison, these level 1, level 2s, and doing like talking about how they was. But believe me, man, when you hit that prison, all that shit out the door, and the shit you doing in that county jail, when you be beating up on certain motherfuckers doing some shit, you answer for that shit when you hit prison. This is the shit they forget to tell you. All that I take 30 phase with you ain't doing that when you hit the pen. Your own homies will knock you down. Yeah, you get life for killing a nigga, you gonna go to prison and hang with them dudes. Period. You not finna be dissing they hood, none of that. Real business. And just like them young cats, if they get convicted on this RICO, they ass is grass. Because like a lot of might think you can go to prison and get under protective custody. Not understanding this. PC ain't just snitches and homosexuals. And all homosexuals ain't busters. Yeah. And secondly, you get stabbed in prison, they're going to put you in protective custody. I think it's 6 months or some shit like that. Because they can't leave you where you are. Because if you get killed, it's on them. So it's some real motherfuckers on them yards. So it ain't no getting away. You answer for that shit. Period. And them young cats is going to soon find out if they get convicted of this RICO. Because if you get convicted on this, like Big U, for example, he know he got to answer for this shit, but Big U, first off, is an older motherfucker. First off, although nobody's above the car, especially when you hit that prison yard, man. But he also got a reputation. So it's like, you know, you still gonna answer if you violated the rules. I don't know if you violated rules. All you see is accusations on the internet. And I come from that era where you say nobody told and you ain't got no fucking paperwork. Just like people saying whack 100 the feds. I wouldn't say nothing. You ain't supposed to say none of that unless you know for a fact. Now, a lot of shit that go on may look like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like you would think he would be nervous as fuck right now due to the fact that he used to hang with Big U all the fucking time. And a lot of these crimes they talking about is the time he used to fuck with him. So, but it just may not be his time yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the feds got in store. Because they obviously tearing motherfuckers up all the way around the board. And most of all these crimes that's getting solved right now are behind dudes getting on these podcasts and speaking street business. The gang life was meant to be secret. Like, not like don't nobody know, but I'm saying the life. You don't intertwine social media with what really going on in the sets. And like they try to blame that dude Adam. Now, I don't know where he grew up at, but if he got a podcast getting millions of dollars, he gonna ask the question that he wanted to answer to. It's up to you to answer that fucking question. Period. It's up to you. You supposed to know to keep your motherfucking mouth shut, man. You do not talk about street business. Like I done seen these dudes on, like I seen Wack asking those specific questions to that young dude who got indicted with the Big U thing. Asking specific questions on social on his live platform. That's fact. I mean, I would say, oh, because he a Crip and you a Blood, but you endorse a lot of Crips, bro. You should never do that, man. Fuck it. And just like today, for example, I seen like I even said I gotta respect you for that. Telling old boy, just pull up with your big homeboy and we'll get straight to it. That's honorable. But why you didn't do that shit with you? That's the person you had a problem with. When all this shit first started a couple of years ago and motherfuckers on there, I ran into you at the gas station. I thought you was my brother, late night, at that little gas station going to Vegas. And I was like, what's happening? Cool dude. You wasn't tripping or nothing. You a cool dude. My thing is, if you saying all that, like you'll get out with him, why you didn't do it Big U opposed to putting his business out there in the streets on social media? Stand up on everything. You get into your paper and you like this, man, these motherfuckers, this shit is bullshit. Ooh, but you still gangbang, you still throw, say your set. So I don't be that type of shit. I don't understand. But like I got all way off track. But like I was saying, you never know his time gonna come. If his time come. But I guarantee you this. If Big U turned himself in, which is crazy, which is crazy as shit. If he turned himself in, that means he going to trial. Ain't no need to take no deal. You might as well take this all the way to the box. And that's also the you gonna know who the fuck told on you, and all this shit gonna come out. Cause you better believe if all them dudes that be on them, y'all they names that be on them podcasts saying all shit they were saying, you know what they finna say to the fans if they ain't already said it. And this is the thing where I say, like, the older homies that's still in the sets that hang around and still be in their turfs every day and all that, this is the type of thing that y'all supposed to be checking. Although I see a lot of these old cats on social media, on live, incriminating themselves with gang signs and all that shit, like niggas that just did 20 years. Like this shit a joke. See, let me break this shit down to you. All right. All them people that's under that indictment with Big U, I guarantee you it's at least 10 motherfuckers on there that doesn't hang with him every day and indulge in all the crimes that he's being accused of. They just dealt with him on certain occasions on whatever particular businesses that made them communicate often. So if you don't know all the ins and outs of what somebody doing, you can get caught up in these indictments like that. You understand what I'm saying? If you hanging out and you with like if y'all like got a designated hangout area y'all hit after everybody finished doing their shit all day, the spots where the homies go hang out and do their thing and chill. And you with this particular person every day. When they do the RICO, when they do the indictment shit, you coming. Yeah, that's why, like, that should be like the rules of this thing. Because one thing is for certain, one dude get everybody indicted is a cold game. And then that's when the doors open up for motherfuckers to start telling. See what I'm saying? And in actuality, motherfuckers, you got people that's never been involved in the gang lifestyle that be like, shit, I ain't going to jail for no other nigga. If that nigga did it, why he ain't say? This is the shit that you know about before you join the gang. You supposed by the rules of it, and you get quick to say that's stupid, fuck the rules, and don't gang bang. Don't rep or be a gang member. Are the rules, and they bend the rules. You don't tell on another motherfucker because you caught up or expect say, oh no, I did that murder. I did that robbery to just let you out of jail, put himself in jail. When he feel like everybody can fight this shit and win. You can't make a motherfucker take a deal when he feel like he can pay a lawyer and win his case. That's what a gang is, family. And if everything was ran like it's supposed to be ran, you would have the homegirls at all these courts looking out for the homegirls so they can get there, paying for them to get there, paying for them to get back, giving them money just in case they got to take off work to go to these courts proceedings. And that way y'all will know who telling. You'll know exactly what's going on. All the hearsay, she say shit will be out the door if the rules were followed. A lot of civilians say, that's stupid. You a dumb fool. You this. But if you feel that way, that's why you're not from nowhere. But these are the rules. These interviews, like these, you would think like whack big you. Them dudes is older, man. You would think they would know, but I done seen some shit that Big U said on here, man, on the Instagram. That's crazy. I can't believe that he would even say that, but that's where they get that statement from. Ignorance is airborne. And the younger cats, I don't blame, because this is their era. I ain't saying it's right. This is where the homies are supposed to check them. Like, hey, check this out. First, you're supposed to tell them, hey, check this here out, man. You don't do that shit no more, bro. You gonna get yourself fucked up out here, man. You have yourself in jail. Well, now that's that cool, that concern warning. But then when I could do it again, you know the consequences of the actions that's being made on them podcasts and interviews. So now it's an aggressive warning. Hey, check this here out, man. A motherfucker ain't gonna tell you again about getting on them podcasts and doing them interviews talking about street business. And that's when you nip it. Like how when them dudes go to prison, that like when they hit them, because they finna get a lot of time. They finna hit them level 4s, man. That's what them motherfuckers, that's what them old dudes that been in prison since the 70s and the 80s that run that motherfucker finna send they, you know, that's the message they finna send. Man, is you out here? Yeah. And they gonna answer for that shit, man. It's a fact. It's a fact. And like I was saying about Big Q, I don't know. It's been a lot of accusations about what the kid is and what the kid done and all this. My main concern about that situation is how the U.S. government is using his name and then the Crips. You see what I'm saying? So first he's the leader of this and the Crips. So in saying that, that opens the door for them to, and they can, if they felt that they can prove it, or if it was a necessary thing for them, they can immediately just round up every motherfucker that's in the gang file that's initial to Crip. Because that's the basis of every Crip set. It's Gangster Crip, Neighborhood Crip, Hoover Crip, you know, whatever at the end of your shit is Crip. And so that's the community. That's the that's the business that they're that's the organization of it all. Yeah, the organization. So if you've been in gang pictures in the last 10 years, you will be a part of that. And that's where I say where motherfuckers need to come together and take this as an opportunity to do it. Real business, because it's only a matter of time before they start rounding motherfuckers up like that, because they already doing it right now. Just think of the last week, how many motherfuckers they done indicted? All from information that came behind podcasts. Think about that, man. So this is where the responsibility of the older cats that still hanging their turfs on a regular basis, that consider themselves gang members, not gang bangers. They consider they G's, the ones that can talk to the homies, that be in the presence of the little homies constantly. Yeah, a lot of them young cats is bigger than y'all and with the business and all that. But nobody is supposed to be above what this thing is. So you already know if a motherfucker violate, you already know that if it's a violation, to be a demonstration. Period. That's the rules. That's the only way this thing works. And that's why it's not working. Everybody quick to say these young cats are really not nowhere near as dangerous as the 4 generations before them. Like when the killing first started. These young cats ain't know none of that shit. They do frivolous, crazy shit. They still, you know what I'm saying? It's just cameras now, so you see it look crazy. But it ain't no crazier than when motherfuckers used to gear up and walk down on the enemy that's actually 2 blocks away and give them the business. That ain't no different. And it was new then. Just like drive-by shooting made it, oh, it's all this. Al Capone started that shit with that bakery thing. And that was the talk that was, oh, then what, 20, 30 years later, it's in the ghetto community. Somebody probably seen a documentary and went crazy. Then as it started killing innocent people, that is from where they at, shoot the messages down. Look here, man. And look here, man. That shit is what busters do. Yeah, if you got an enemy, that's how that happened. Just like the message to come from them old niggas now. If you come to prison because you violated some shit that you done did on this podcast, that's your ass. Motherfuckers will keep their ass off that podcast. Because I'm going to tell you this. Young cats that get out here and get on these podcasts talking about in the county jail and how they all that. And I know some young cats be like that, right? You don't never hear them say they was on that level of shit. Never. Because they'll kill their ass. Immediately. They'll get a warning. Hey, check this here out, man. Don't come up here with that bullshit. Yeah. Because this motherfuckers have been in that motherfucker since 70s, 80s, the 90s. That's home. You got to think. That's like a city. Prison is a big-ass city. The same thing that go on in your city go on in that prison. The only difference is it ain't no females. But you got staff, free staff, and all that if you slick enough. Anyway, that's another story. At any rate, that's a little city. They program got to run. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers smoke cigarettes. They took that away. Motherfuckers need their weed. Niggas need this. Niggas need to eat that real food from out the kitchen. They need to get it from. Get none of that shit when the motherfucking prison is slammed down. And if you get the prison slammed down behind some bullshit, your own homies is gonna knock your ass down. Period. Before they get in the wreck with everybody else. Yeah. So, bottom line, I'm not. My main concern is I'm talking to the youngsters because somebody needs to tell them. But I'm also talking to the motherfuckers my age and that's close up there, man. What are y'all? Stop talking on these podcasts, man. The shit that go on in the streets are not meant for civilian ears, man. Just like it really got bad even with this rapping shit. How motherfuckers telling they crimes in their raps, man. I understand y'all getting to this paper, man. I understand you want to be, a billionaire and all that. But believe me, I understand. But before you do a crime, if ain't nobody never taught y'all this, I'm gonna teach you right now. Before you do a crime, weigh out your options. Meaning, is the money you gonna get worth the time that you finna spend? Give you an example. When I first started selling drugs, a long time ago, legal no more at all, period. Nothing. I don't do absolutely not one illegal thing. But when I did used to sell drugs, I was 12, 13 years old, 15 years old. You weigh out the options. You can get a chicken for $13.5 in LA. That motherfucker going for $45 in the South. If you get caught with that motherfucker in the South, you ain't gonna get no more than 5 years. The chances of you getting caught the very first time is slim to none. For the main reason is nobody knows you're coming. Only you know you're coming. So the chances of you getting caught is slim. That's a $35,000 markup in one day. Soon you touch down, you got $35,000 profit. You book up out of there. You come back and get 3. Whoever you getting them from is 9 times out of 10 gonna throw you 3. That's 6. The second time is just as lucrative and beautiful as the first time, because nobody know who you are, where you coming up, and when you coming back, or if you coming back. Now, after the second time, that's when the risks start acquiring, because whoever you giving it to, it's a whole bunch of factors. But the point that I'm making is, you used to weigh out your options. If you get caught, you coming home in 5, 10 years, man. If you don't get caught, you finna make like 200,000 in like a month. It's worth the risk. Opposed to now, prices is just like the same over there. And if you get caught, you ain't never coming home. It don't weigh out. Period. It does not weigh out. So you have to think about these things when you say, okay, I want to be a star. If you want to be a star, be a real artist. Rap about the shit you used to do, where you want to go. And it can be done because the cats before you did it. Period. And and this is shit you can investigate on your own. It's your career. Most of the cats who be rapping about that shit never even lived it. You see what I'm saying? So my whole point is, weigh out your options when you're talking. Just like whatever they pay y'all to get on these podcasts. If you getting paid, because I heard you don't even get paid. I heard motherfuckers just be on there for their brand or whatever. Hey, listen here, man. Y'all talk about shit that can be used against y'all 20 years from now. As long as they stay investigating, the statute of limitations don't wear out, because they're investigating. They linking that on. That's what the feds do. Like, you see, matter of fact, this morning, they just opened up a 43 count indictment on Big U.S. Yeah, they didn't say that at first. They just this. Yeah. So now, yeah, we got this here. This shit date back 7, 8 years ago. They charging you for crimes you did 7, 8 years ago. And believe me when I tell me what you did 7 years ago. On this day, 7 years ago, at this time, what was you doing? 97.9% of people on this post can't tell you that. Shit you forgot about. Because once they own you, they got your motherfucking ass. This is the feds. This ain't LAPD, man. Once they own your bumper, that's your ass. They got your cousin, your auntie, your mama, your brother, your daddy, your homeboys' phones tapped. They got your calls tapped. They done came in your house because motherfuckers crazy enough nowadays to let the cable man come in their house. And when they still breaking the law. Letting the power company come in their house when they still break. These are no-nos, man. When you're breaking the law, you don't let no kind of service people in your house for no reason. Because you don't know them people. You don't know if they the FBI or not. These are rules. These are things you're supposed to live by. That's like just like how a lot of these cats getting snatched up at home. Where they coming to get these dudes from? Home. Where they lay their heads at every night because they done spent $2 million on this joint at this business. Because that's why when you're still breaking the law, you are not supposed to hold on to nothing that you can't get relinquished in 30 seconds, man. Period. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have a mother or somebody that you can really trust that can conduct your business, that's who you're supposed to have running your business, and nobody's supposed to ever know. But the cold thing about that is that's they shit. You go to prison for life. Who's to say who gonna do what? You know what I'm saying? But to have it and have to and living a life like you're a normal person is foolish. Because it's not when you getting paper, real money. The question is not if they're gonna come. The question is when they're gonna come. And you think these fools been on the internet saying, "Oh, man, look here, man. Since this shit happened, I've been seeing shit, and I'm saying to myself, motherfuckers got to be AI in this. This shit can't be true." Like, I done heard some shit, man. I heard one of them boys tell the other boy, they both on the indictment together, though. They all in the federal building right now. They should have been a squad by now. Yeah, this motherfucker done told him that he got more bodies than he got squabbles. On the fucking internet, on a podcast, man. This boy said on a live podcast, nigga, I got more body, I got more murders than you got squabbles, nigga. I got more bodies than you, nigga. Well, I'm like, listen here, man. There's no way you gonna get out of jail, man. You finna tell on everybody and still go do 20, 30 years, man. And your life is ruined. There's no safety for you, man. Believe that, man. And you youngsters and you other motherfuckers that listen to that, understand this. It's no safety for you when you tell them you wind up in that prison, man. The only way you make it through that shit is if God is on your side, man. And that's it. Even the police that you telling to don't respect you. You got to understand, man. Like me, I'm gonna use me as an example. I live that life. And I understand once I'm cool, I was cool. Like, I mean, I understand the stupidity of that shit. Like, you kill a motherfucker from 23 blocks away from you. They your worst enemy out here. And you go to prison, get a license for killing one of them, but then get to prison and all your homies that you know and everything is kicking it with the homie, with one of them niggas that killed one of the homies. And then you come in like, nigga, that nigga killed the homie. Whoa, that's what he here for you. And your homie's gonna tell you to kick the fuck back. Yeah, and if you don't kick the fuck back, they're gonna knock your ass down. Depending on who you are, it may take longer, but it's gonna happen. Facts. And don't let nobody tell you nothing different. That's the fact. Just like these niggas, these dudes be coming home with them high power stories, how low they was and all that. I'm gonna explain to you how you know most of that shit be lies and cap. Do you want to know how you know this? Because they home. The only way you getting out of that motherfucking prison system once they got your ass in there is if you do right. That means go to school, go to work, Take your ass out back, back and forth and do what the people tell you to do. Or your ass ain't coming home. Them 30-day write-ups, them 60-day write-ups, them getting caught with dope and getting an extra 15 years. You got to think, when you do crime like drugs and stabbings and murders in those prisons, you're going to court in those counties. Like I was in Corcoran. That's Kern County. Do that sound like it's anybody that's black in that motherfucker? Do that sound like it's anybody that would love to live in the ghetto? They're gonna wash your ass up. But them write-ups and them extra added days, that shit add up. So you wasn't doing all that shit, because if you was, you wouldn't be home. It's just that simple. So with the things that you need to think about, man, when you be on here saying the shit that you saying, because they're gonna use that shit against you. And at first, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you would say this, he just talking. Now you know. Go to that Chat GPT and Google. Matter of fact, we're gonna do it right now. I'm gonna Google it and Chat GPT for myself right now with y'all on live. What's up, chat? How you feeling? Yeah, I'm cool with my chat. Me and my chat is partners. Oh, what's the conviction rate? Conviction rate percentage based off social media and internet evidence. Conviction percentage based off. Street crimes. They asked me, what kind of crimes am I talking about? Street crimes. Conviction rates of street crimes in the United States vary depending on specific offenses and jurisdictions. According to the Bureau of Justice statistics, among defendants charged with a felony in state courts, 68% were convicted, with 59 convicted of a felony and the remainder of misdemeanors. Felony conviction rates highest defendants originally charged with, that's some other shit, because it break it all down. So 68% of street crimes are convicted behind the internet. Yeah, well, chat said I didn't. So all I'm telling you, man, is that this shit ain't new as far as motherfuckers telling, doing slick shit, because all bosses do that shit. They call it what? The greater good. Okay, get this motherfucker up. He ain't nobody. Or he a threat, and it'll cause too much commotion if you have him knocked off. Put them people on the wall. So basically, it's like this. If you are voluntarily joining the street gangs and street crimes, know what you're getting yourself into, man. Stay off these platforms talking about street business. If a motherfucker asks you about a murder, the first thing you're supposed to say is nothing. But if you must reply, the best reply would be like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Me, if I was on one of them motherfuckers and asked me about a murder, I'd tell them, man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I ain't gonna kill nothing. I ain't gonna let nothing die, man. Yeah, man. Let's talk about what we here for, man. Music. What we talking about is about music and what? Yeah, real business. Because once you say it, and once it's on this internet, and they get your ass in that courtroom and play this shit like they doing right now. It ain't no, oh, I was just doing it for likes and kicks. No, they don't want to hear none of that because the crime fits something. It fits something in particular, man. And you said it. The only good thing about a lot of this shit is laws are laid out for particular situations. But like warrants and all that shit not even relevant when you talking about some shit that's public, for the public. It's public. He put it out there publicly, Your Honor. Look, he said it right here. Ain't nobody else said it. He said it. He said this, and this, and this. This is how this crime took place. Look, Your Honor, what? Jury. Look, what can you say at that point, man? I guarantee you that every single last one of them, you got to think they just got arrested. They've been out here chilling, living their best life, man. They are sick right now. Right now, they are sick. They might be talking to y'all on the phone or something, making it sound cool. Yeah, if they having phone privilege, they fucking with them feds. The feds put motherfuckers on lockdown so motherfuckers can't get their stories together and all that slick shit. But I guarantee you, they sick right. Even Big Youth, I bet you he kicking himself in his ass for not running. Real business. Especially after today, they just opened up what is it called? A 43-page. They just opened it today. A 43 count indictment, man. A 43 counts. Man, look here, man. Let me tell you something. I don't know all the motherfuckers that got arrested behind him. I mean, on his case with him. Because they making him the leader. He the head of all this. If it's 30 motherfuckers, I promise you this, 25 of them motherfuckers is telling. Right now. 20 of them already done told. Believe this, man. I guarantee you kicking himself in the ass for turning himself in. Now, mind you, just because all this shit taking place don't mean that these people is washed up. You see what just happened with Young Thug. But y'all gotta understand this key thing. This is the key thing to understand. Young Thug was facing state crimes in Georgia. These brothers is facing federal crimes based out of Los Angeles, California. Yeah, the laws is way different in California. They got a saying in state prison for the motherfuckers that come to California on vacation, man. Yeah. Yeah, come to California on vacation and leave on probation, man. Yeah. Yeah. The prison is full of motherfuckers that came down to California, man, thinking it's a game because, like back in the day, I don't know if it's still like this, but back in the day in Alabama, in the South, you do 3 months on every year. You can kill a nigga, a black person. You can kill a black person and buy for 2,000-3,000. You know what I'm saying? And they're talking about 98. You know what I'm saying? 97, 98, 99. You know what I mean? In California, buddy, if you get a bail, it's gonna be in the millions, man. But for a murder, man, ain't not letting your ass out of jail, man. Period. Not in California. And you got federal charges, man. Look here, man. Let me tell you something, man. If they beat this case, God was on their side. Because you got to understand this. The feds don't come until they got you. When the feds come, they already got you. Like, what's his name? Them young dudes that be on them no jumper and all that. They ass is cooked on them charges. They ass is cooked on them charges. They told on themselves. Period. I done seen too many of them motherfuckers on here talking about specific crimes they committed for like one of them admitted to a crime he committed for the boy. Online, you can't beat that. You said it. It actually happened. Yeah, it's going to jail. Now, how long you gonna go to jail depends on how much you gonna tell. Because if they told it on them goddamn podcasts, they finna these, man. You can believe that, man. It ain't no love and unity out here, man. Don't nobody, like I said, I don't know what the fuck Eugene mind thought was who he let get in his brain. Why he turned himself in. Man. Hey, look, I don't, unless he just, he what, 58, 59, 60? What is he, 60? Maybe just wanted to, like spend his last 30, 40 in that motherfucker, like, on the 6-0 thing. I don't know. But me personally, hey, man, I'd have been out of there, man. You see, he wasn't at home. See, that's the type of shit I be talking about. See, I come from the generation under. See, look at when I was in the streets, man. You not finna up in my spot, man, and get me unless you just lucky. Cause I stay in different spots all the motherfucking time because of the crimes the motherfuckers committed at that time. And man, look, my whole point is this is why I don't break the law, man. Real talk. Because understand this. Once you change, I was starting to say this earlier and switched off. Once you get, and I'm using myself as an example. Once you decide to change, you no longer want to live this bullshit. You're supposed to bag all the way the fuck up. One good reason for that is just because you've changed don't mean your enemy's changed. The person that you consider your enemy from the other side. The one you done something to when you was 21, 19, 15, 16, continuous big. That don't mean they changed. Yeah, real business. Because I know motherfuckers my age that still functioning in the streets. You dig what I'm saying? So you got to understand this. When you through. You can still talk to your partners you grew up with. Hey, what's happening? Well, but you stay out of that shit because the thing of the matter, the fact of the matter is this. When they come, they don't want to hear that shit. Nigga, you still do this, you still that. And your ass going to jail right with them. And when you really realize the reality of this shit, no need to function in that arena no more. Because let me give you some real live statistics. And all you got to do is do your homework on this. When God blesses you to make it out your set, out the ghetto, and you don't keep your ass out that ghetto, one or two things always happen. Do your homework. Either you get killed 98% of the time by one of your dudes from your turf, or you wind up going to prison for the rest of your life for killing one of your homeboys from your turf. Them the only two options that ever happen. Do your homework. You use the person that y'all love so much, Nipsey Hussle, for example. I used to tell my nephews all the time. So when it happened, I was like, this is an opportunity to prove my point instead of a motherfucker saying, listen to this old nigga. No. I knew for a fact that one of his homies did it before I even heard one of his homies did it. I was in surgery when the day. So I knew I wasn't watching TV and none of that shit. I was under the knife. So I knew when they said it. And then when I got back in town, I was in, motherfuckers were saying, I'm telling motherfuckers, no, that ain't what happened. That's just internet. That's just that. Understand this, man. When God blesses you, man, to keep your ass out of the ghetto, you keep your ass out of the ghetto. Because if you don't, one of those two things is gonna happen. Either 98% of the time you get killed by one of your own, I ain't gonna say homeboys, one of your own partners from your turf. or you're gonna wind up getting life for killing a motherfucker from your turf. Do your history, do your statistics on people that made it out the set, didn't have to be there, had paper, had good credit, had their business popping, and that happened to. Or they done got life in prison. It always happens, man. You're going to always get to that age where you feel like, I'm a grown man, this shit is stupid, if you're intelligent. But that's, most of that stuff, that's all a lot of them know. A lot of people know, man. A lot of people can't do the type of shit I do, like go out of town, just jump up and go out of town for a year into another state, another country, and don't talk to people. A lot of people don't have that. I done had a lot of people out of town with me through my hustling days that be ready to go home talking about they homesick. Like literally, like homesick. What the fuck is you talking about? The same shit was, yeah. But so that's all a lot of motherfuckers know. But you got to understand this. This is what I know. Once God bless you out of there, man, that's the whole point of hustling. That was the whole point of getting paper. The whole point of becoming a millionaire, man, and now a billionaire, man, is to get out the ghetto, man. That's the whole fucking purpose. Now, true indeed, we get bit by that hustling bug, and you know, we all did it. But when you learn, you understand, man, that's the whole point. The point not to get rich and keep your ass in poverty. And I'm not saying leave the people you grew up with. Everybody can't go. And whether you believe it or not, a lot of your partners don't even want to go. Because like I said, the ghetto is, a lot of people know, man, them blocks that they raised in. And believe it or not, they stars. You know what I'm saying? It's just like celebrities when they go out and, you know, people, oh my God, it's the same thing with being a gang member when you stay in there, especially if you're active. You a hustler, a gunner, you know what I'm saying? One of them high-ranking things that you do when you do it at the top of your level. You a star. So, but the key to it is to get out of the poverty. And so once you make it, you're supposed to keep your ass from over there, man. Like me, man, I don't do no hanging out, man. I got partners that I love from where I grew up at, man, that I truly, dearly love. But I don't do no hanging out because this is the thing. I got a bunch of kids. So this is the thing that always sets in my mind. What am I going to tell my kids if I wind up getting a life sentence from killing one of these motherfuckers for playing with me? Or I ain't gonna be able to tell my kids shit if I get my brains blown out and on some gang shit at my age, and motherfuckers like tell my kids, yeah, they gonna be sad, but they gonna be like, Pops was full of shit. Pops with that bullshit. If he was practicing all the shit he talked to us about, it would have never happened. I think about that because in actuality, man, don't nothing. I don't give a fuck who you are. If the motherfucker love you, he gonna tell you the truth. Don't nothing come good from the hood, man. Period. Life don't get good until you get grown and start living your life and you start, you know, doing shit. Now, if you don't, and I'm talking about for the motherfuckers that don't leave, but that's their choice. But they done evolve here though, because they know don't nothing good come from that shit, man. You steady getting politics against. You understand me? If you consider the rich cat, they politicking against you because they want you to give them money, and then I'm not giving you shit. Then it's the problem. Then you got these motherfuckers behind your back, plotting, smiling in your face. Then you got, man, it's all kind of bullshit, man, that go on with poverty, man. It's a whole lot of shit that go on with poverty, man. And the fact of the matter is, the government has been and still is to this present day utilizing those poverty tactics, just like the so-called fame. Now you famous if you on these platforms. Like I was in the airport, the motherfucker was like, hey, man, I know you. By me being defensive, like, hey, man, bag up, man, I don't know you, bro. Yeah, man, I do know you, man. You be, I'm like, bro, you see my face on social media is what you trying to tell me? Because I'm just now starting this shit. This is what you saying to me? Like, yeah, you got the clothes. Yeah, man, all right, homie. Yeah. So I'm like, man, this shit crazy because I'm on defense mode. Because like I said, just because you change don't mean everybody else changed. So if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. But if you don't put yourself in situations where you get crossed up at, the chances are slim. It's not saying it won't happen still, but the chances are very slim. Like I tell my sons and my nephews, man, I'll go out and hang out. I really do. But I go out and hang out. I don't worry about running into nutting ass niggas where I hang out at, man. You understand me? Because first and foremost, a nutting ass nigga not finna spend the money it costs to get into this establishment. You know what I'm talking about? And the motherfuckers who will pay that money to get into them establishments is not finna fuck it off or let they goons fuck it off because it costs too much money to get in this motherfucker. Yeah. And I don't have no interaction with the young crowd, so I ain't got to worry about the new age unless I'm in somebody else's mix. Now, that's possible with everything, but I'm saying the situations you put yourself in. Because in actuality, man, let me explain something to you, really to you young cats, man. The streets do not love you. Everybody love the streets. The streets don't love nobody, and they are undefeated. You may think in your heart that you can be the one. Nobody makes it. Nobody. The streets win every fucking time. The best thing, I'm not going to never tell you to stop getting paper, man. You'll never hear that come out of my mouth. Ever. Get to your money. By all means, baby, get your paper, man. Fuck what everybody talking about this, that, that's the bad thing. The only thing that's illegal is the shit you get caught doing. Get to your paper, man. By all means. Period. Because the motherfuckers who telling you this, that, is this gonna happen, and them motherfuckers is the motherfuckers who went through it already and know the outcome. So they pressing the line, but I know the outcome, but I'm not pressing no line. By all means, get to your paper. The key to it is to get you some paper and get up out of it. That's the key. But if you don't, by all means, you will see what the fuck I'm talking about before you leave this earth. Because then people coming, especially if you involved with several different people in several different states and several different places that you can see and watch. Just think, people, mamas and daddies and cousins and brothers done told on each other in this game to stay free. What makes you different? Ask yourself that question. What makes you different? But I'm going to wrap this up, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. I appreciate it, man. But understand this, before I leave this, I want to say this. Please, man, keep y'all ass off these podcasts. Please stop getting on these interviews, speaking street. Crips shouldn't talk about blood business, and blood shouldn't talk about Crip business. Period. Neither one of them should be on this social media talking about nothing that has nothing to do with the streets. And to my older brothers, man, my older cats, man, that's still functioning in the sets and doing your thing. Make that a rule, man. Make that a rule that's enforced by all means, any means. Because when you catch that Rico at 40 and 50, you're never coming home. And chances are, them young motherfuckers is telling on you. Period. Because the government is going to look at it like you the ringleader anyway. But the moral to this long podcast today, brothers and sisters, man, please stay off them podcasts and them interviews talking about street business. If you're a rapper, rap. If you're a rapper, rap. If you sell clothes, talk about your clothes. You make perfume, cologne, talk about perfume and cologne. But what you don't talk about is street business. Period. Period. And for those who don't listen, understand this. When you get caught, see, the streets are not following these rules per se no more. Like niggas is telling. Now I'm not talking about the people that's just saying people telling. I'm not talking about them because we're not talking about. But people are telling they got paperwork on them, documentation, and still in their sets doing their thing. A lot of them running shit. That shit fly on the streets. That shit do not fly behind them walls, man. Listen to me, and it ain't no protective custody, man. Do not let these people fool you and trick you into being fucked up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop saying that. Can't nobody trick you into doing something you know you ain't supposed to do, man. At the end of the day, man, bottom line, motherfuckers already got it hard enough, man. Keep your ass off them podcasts and them interviews talking about street business. And thank y'all for tuning in to Happy Lies, Sad Truth. Sponsored by Big on Successful Stuff Clothing. If it ain't ice white, it ain't right. And Dr. Green's Holistic and Wellness. Get high the healthy way. Peace.